All right, it's about 6 o'clock on Sunday night. I went in there to get a shower, and she pulled out her little scanner thing, because I guess she thought I had points for a shower. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I don't have any points on my card. I said, my fuel card only works at Pilot. And she handed me the receipt, and I went to slide my card in, and she's like, no, don't worry about it. I was like, really? For real? She's like, yeah. She said, just give me the name of your ugliest friend. So I gave her your name. So she'll be calling me shortly.
Warning: the YouTuber you are about to watch does not care about your one view. So don't think he will kiss your ass to keep you watching. If you talk shit, he will talk shit back. If you become rude, you will be blocked. Enjoy.
But that's pretty sweet. She gave me a free shower at Love's. That's awesome. Love's are always cleaner than Pilots. I hear a lot of people complain about how dirty Love's are. I've never been to a dirty Love's. I've definitely been to dirty Pilots. But anyways, they don't have a laundry room, so we can't do laundry. That's right. I only have 2 or 3 things to wash. The main thing that I wanted to wash was the sheet in my bed, because I was eating some stuffed peppers and I set the plastic container up on that wooden shelf thing of mine and forgot it was up there. It fell off into my bed yesterday when I was driving and leaked out all into the bed. So now it looks like somebody was murdered in my bed. But no. So yeah, thumbs up to Love's for the free shower. All right, we are in Ripley, West Virginia. This is actually where I did my live, sitting in this Love's parking lot here. We had 414 people show up for that. Look at the garbage the truckers are throwing out of their trucks. I just don't understand. God, how lazy can people be? I don't get it. It's terrible, man. This would be a beautiful place. And it's got to be ruined. Yeah, so 414 people. Oh my God, it went on for 4 hours. You guys are killing me. Appreciate everybody showing up though. So let's talk about this load a little bit. So I got there and I strapped it all down, thinking because everything was bolted to the wood, that's kind of how they wanted it. But after I got all strapped down, they told me if I strap it to the wood, I guess they have problems with these bolts coming out, these things would come off. So I had to run some straps over. They told me to run straps over top of this. So I ran straps over top of it, and I found that it was moving around too much. So then I came out here and I strapped it over this wood, this edge here, and down and over. But the problem with that was it was pulling on this side of the wood, so it was slowly pulling this that way. So I found if I went underneath of this ledge and came over top of this other wood, then that was usually that helped to hold it in place. Because everything's constantly, since the way everything is made, the more I tighten the strap, the more it was pushing this over. And then this is the Jeff Bishop way of doing the straps. He told me to, so basically what you do is you start your strap, you put like 1 or 2 clicks on this maybe, fold up your strap, and then you fit it between these 2 pieces of ribbon. And then once you tighten it down, that ribbon right here will tighten, and then that won't allow this strap to go anywhere. I do like it, but I think I've been doing my straps like this for so long that my straps naturally kind of want to curl now. So I don't know. I had to use, I'll call this the Dixie May and Dream Inspired. And that's the Jeff Bishop. I had to do that down here because there was no way to get the strap in there as the Jeff Bishop way. So I guess there's good and bad with both. I don't know. But this is where we're at. for until Monday, because we can't get the Ohio permits, because Ohio requires you to have your insurance company send them information before you can even make an account. And I guess since we picked this up kind of late-ish Friday, either my insurance company didn't have time to send it to them, or Ohio didn't have time to look at the information to okay us making an account in order to pull a permit. So I am happy that we at least made it up to this point and I'm not stuck in North Carolina, because now from this point it looks like I only have about 3.5 hours of driving to get to where we're going with this instead of 8 hours of driving. So it did get us closer. So hopefully Ohio gets on the ball first thing Monday morning, which will be tomorrow, and then we can get our permits pulled and get up there and get this dropped as soon as possible. That way we can grab something else and keep moving for the week, so we can try to make a couple dollars this week. It's been rough. The boards have been terrible. Like I said, they tried to push this load for $900, and if people would realize to just stop taking the cheap freight, the freight has to move. No matter what, it has to move. Let's make these shippers and let's make these brokers pay more than what they've been paying, because we're all out here away from our families. We're all sacrificing the time and the money to buy these trucks and these trailers, and the only people benefiting from it are the brokers and the people shipping the items right now. And that's not right. We're out here doing all the footwork. We're taking all the risks, buying the truck, paying the ridiculous insurance fees. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. So I'm going to run up here and grab some breakfast, and maybe I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. All right, guys, it's Monday morning. It's about 9 o'clock. So we use a company called Westchester Permits. They're based out of Ohio. They charge a flat rate of $20 per permit over the cost of what the state charges. So if the state charges, like if you sat down and did the paperwork yourself and the state charged you $30 to pull a permit for that state, they charge $20 on top of that. So we only use them when we're in a pinch. Usually if we have time, Lita will she'll sit down and figure out the permits herself, just to save us money, just to learn the system. It's a headache. I suggest if you don't have somebody willing to sit there at the computer and figure it out, because none of the states are the same. Some of them are super simple. You can call them up, be like, hey, I'm driving through your state. This is how wide my load is, blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, cool, just give me some money and you can drive through. Then you got other states that, and I don't know what they were thinking when they set their system up. They were like, let's make it as hard as we possibly can on these people to figure out this system that we don't even know how it works. So anyways, we're waiting on them to get back with us on, they're making our account and everything right now. Ohio seems to be the biggest issue. I don't know. So they, like I said, they want your insurance company to send them paperwork to prove that you have commercial insurance, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure how hard it will be to set up a permit after. So that just allows you to make an account so you can start pulling permits. That's usually where you run into the problems, is trying to, because sometimes you have to like look on a map and you have to, map out your own. It can be a nightmare. So that's what we're waiting on. But I was sitting in bed last night talking to Lita, watching Netflix, and someone requested to join the Facebook page. I usually get notifications, and I try to answer them as fast as I can. There's a guy named Scott Kramer. I was like, wow, that's weird. Next thing I know, I get a message from this guy talking about how he watches the channel and how he owns a bike shop in New Jersey. I was like, that sounds familiar. He's like, yeah, my son's a pro BMX rider. I was like, what? I was like, is this Scotty Kramer's dad? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I used to watch Scotty Kramer's channel all the time. And if you've never heard of Scotty Kramer, go check him out. He's a badass BMX rider. And as you guys know, I'm an adrenaline junkie. If I can do, if it's got wheels, I'm jumping on it, you know. So yeah, I mean, his dad watches my channel. He was thinking about getting into trucking himself, went out and got his CDLs, bought a semi truck, and now this whole coronavirus has him freaked out. So he's backed away from that. But how awesome is that? Somebody that I've watched for so long. Admittedly, I haven't been watching his channel lately because I'm so busy doing my own thing with this whole hotshot thing. But his son was actually in an accident probably almost 2 years now. He was out riding his bike with his friends, and he was jumping a gap, and his front tire went down into a hole, and his head hit the concrete. He wasn't wearing a full face helmet, and he was basically paralyzed for a long time. But he's on the road to recovery. He's doing really good. But you should go watch some of his videos. Man, he can ride a bike. Anyways, I was so excited, man. Oh man, it was awesome talking to him. So he's like, yeah, if you're ever in the area, hit me up. I'm like, man, now I want to get a load to New Jersey, and there's going to be a thing called Swamp Fest going down close to where I live, down in Florida. It's a big BMX event. He's like, yeah, come down, introduce you to the guys. I'm like, oh yeah. So we're going to Swamp Fest April 4th down in Florida. So that'll be sweet. Anyways, I just got a text message. Hopefully that was my permit coming through, and we should be hitting the road shortly, hopefully. All right, so it's now about 11 o'clock on Monday. Lita thinks that we have the permit, so I'm doing pre-trip right now. I'm gonna run down the road and fuel up. My card works at a speedway down the road, and I originally planned on staying there for the weekend, but they don't have truck parking. So I went to some other place. It was kind of a rundown dump. That's why I seen a Love's across the I don't know, what would you call that? The interstate, but not really across the interstate. Anyways, that's why we ended up staying at Love's. Love's are by far the cleanest, nicest truck stops that we've come across. Anyways, we're gonna do pre-trip. We're gonna go fuel up, and then hopefully we'll have the permits by then. I want to point something out too. I don't know if you guys can notice in the footage when they unloaded the black pipe, but the trailer twisted real bad because they had so much weight when he was unloading it. I think they've permanently bent my trailer. I'm hoping it's because I'm sitting in a hole, but if you follow the line of the tailgate with that toolbox is easily 3 or 4 inches lower on that side because that trailer's twisted. I don't think this thing is that much heavier and over there. Man, I just feel like maybe they've bent this trailer. So I'm gonna pull it onto some more level ground, and we'll take a look at that. I really hope they didn't permanently bend this. Now this doesn't have a torque tube. It has these metal plates that they put on here that seem to do pretty good. So they've got that one there, and then they've put like that one there, and a few back there. I'll probably do something similar like that to the Big Tex to keep it from flexing, because it definitely flexes in the front. I'm not sure about the torque tube, how that works. I think that's my permit. Let's go get some fuel and hit the road.
But that takes 48 hours too. So Westchester's got to do this permit also.
So how many miles do you think not going in Kentucky's gonna add?
It's really, it's just this river. We just got to go over the fucking Ohio River, dude, and they won't let you go through 71, which honestly is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Because that's going through Cincinnati. I mean, it's probably going to add an hour, but there's nothing we can do about it.
All right,
you
well,
know
I mean, if it's only like 60 miles or whatever, that's not that big a deal.
I mean, I don't think so. It's a bypass around Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But also, there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay.
So.
All right, so we're on our way to Ohio right now. We have probably GPS says 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I picked up another oversized load going from Ohio down to Alabama. I figured out what I would need. So what I've been figuring is I include deadhead in everything. I added up how much the permit's going to be for each state, and then I added $2.50 per mile for this oversize. Worked out to be about $2,600. It was 25 something, but I just rounded up to 26, so I called in on this load and did the whole thing. Well, what can you do it for? I was like, well, what do you have in it? Because if I'd have told them 26, they offered 28, so I would have screwed myself out of $200 right there. So we're gonna drop this thing today, and then we're gonna go pick up the next one. It's 27 feet long, 7,000 pounds, 10 foot 9 inches wide. So like you were hearing from Lita, Google tells you to go down through Kentucky. Kentucky doesn't allow you to come through their state right there if you're over 10 feet wide, so we're just gonna have to shoot over into Indiana. So it is what it is. I think we'll still hopefully be all right, knock on wood. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we are, oh my goodness. We are unloaded. I think we've got about 2.5 hours to our next one. I was afraid. These guys said that they were going to close their gate at 3:30. And I was afraid they weren't going to unload me today. So luckily the guy stayed late for me. We got it unloaded. So now we can go to Newton, Ohio and pick up our next load. And that goes to somewhere in Alabama. I can't remember. It's right outside of Birmingham. So I'm gonna pull out here so we can shut this gate, and then we're going to probably make something to eat. Maybe. I know I definitely have to grab a drink and keep driving. I almost forgot about you guys. Let me see what our trip status looked like. Trip fuel 1. So 8.8 miles to the gallon. That's pretty terrible. I'm not sure why that was so bad. 564 miles. We got $1,600 for that. So the bad thing is we had to sit around and wait on those permits. Had I been able to go and drop like we had planned for Saturday, because I was planning to drop that Saturday, but with all the permit mess, it is what it is. Let's see if this next one's any better. All right, we made it to Mantua, Ohio, which puts us about 15 to 20 minutes from our next pickup. We can't pick it up till the morning. So I've been using that Keep Trucking app, Gold Edition. It's supposed to show you if the road has any tolls and how much the tolls are going to be. This is the second time it's taken me on a toll road when I have no tolls checked, and it's saying there isn't going to be any tolls. Look at this. I shredded my oversized load sign. Shredded it. I've got another one. See, sharp corners. I had a corner protector on here, but I guess the wind blew it off. Let's see. Yeah, that one doesn't have the corner protector on there either. I might have to duct tape the corner protector on there. But yeah, so this is the second time it's bit me. So obviously if I would have paid attention to the route, I would have known. But by the time I noticed that it was going to take me on the Ohio Turnpike, I would have lost too much time to go the non-toll route way. So we're sitting in a rest area right now. The only good thing about this is these usually have free showers. The bad thing is they only have McDonald's to eat, and that's all I had to eat over the weekend, which was terrible. So I've got to I'm gonna run and grab something to eat, and then I want to show you guys how many straps we used on that load. Yeah, look at all these straps. I have to roll all of those straps up tonight. And remember how I said that I thought the trailer was twisted? It doesn't seem to be. That load must have had it twisted somehow, because the trailer looks straight again. So that's a relief. Anyways, this is where we're at. I think we have to pick up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll have to look at the rate plan again. I thought I had another load leading up there going back up to Findlay, Ohio, which is where we just dropped that load off. And I was hoping to grab that because they actually have a few of these wide loads. I was hoping to grab that and come back up and grab another one of these wide loads. But I don't know. For some reason, the brokers just don't ever call you back. You can call and leave them a message. I've never had one call me back. So the best thing to do is just to keep calling and calling and just bug the shit out of them. So, all right. I'm gonna go get something to eat, roll up some straps.